up in Nigeria. And if you did as well, you'll understand the point of this video. Whilst my childhood was beautiful with lovely memories, we were what you will call the middle class. Two decent, hardworking parents supporting their family. But as a Nigerian child, you can't lie to me. The meat on your plate was always small. There was serious portion control back in the days, and it was always meat that suffered. They can give you plenty rice and stew or jollof rice, but the meat, not so much. You'll be lucky not to just chew and swallow in one gulp because, well, there was nothing to bite into and remain. That's how small it was. And you always ended up saving it for the last so that you could end on a high note. Amazing childhood we had. I mean, I would not trade it for anything else. So when you think of it, most of us had similar upbringing, but how did it affect us though? How does your childhood experience affect you now? Have you become a victim, a victor, or a villain? What's your relationship with meat now? How does your plate look like when you want to eat? Is it now full of meat because you were deprived as a child? Or are you like me? I mean, I can live without it. It really doesn't matter. Well, what I'm driving at is that as much as we had similar experiences in life, it turns out that we get affected by it differently. And some don't get affected at all. The meat on my plate was small. So when I grew up, well, I wasn't all that crazy about meat anyway. And yet, my friend who grew up same as me, hardly any meat on her plate. Now, when she sees meat, she wants to gobble it up like it's running out. Another friend of mine grew up in a very rich household. In fact, for her, it's an insult for you to not bring the meat in a separate plate, in another plate with like 10 or 12 pieces so she can choose which part she really likes. And yet, another rich friend of mine had so much variety of meat, game's meat, when she was growing up in South Africa. In fact, she's the only one that I know that has eaten an antelope before. But guess what? Today, she's vegetarian. So are you a product of how you grew up? Does your upbringing affect who you've become? Do you have a say in the matter? Or is your faith already sealed based on how they raised you? Can you choose to be different from the next person despite having similar experiences? And can you stop playing victim and say, all these things that are happening to me is because of what happened to me as a child? Boo-hoo. You can change that. That is what makes each of us special. Because we all have the willpower to decide how we want to be. No meat? Yeah. Some meat? Yeah. Plenty meat? Yeah. Crazy about meat? Okay too. Whatever works for you now. And not only on the size of your plate, of course, but every decision, every action, every bad habit that you have as an adult that you want to blame on your childhood can be easily reversed. No one should ever have to say, oh, it's because of how I grew up that I became such and such. Within us all is the ability to change and not to allow ourselves to be affected by previous experiences like that. The ability to sift through your past and take only that which was joyful and fashion it into your daily habits and be grateful for those ones that were meant to teach you a lesson or two. You don't have to carry all your unpleasant baggage with you as an adult forever. So whether you were fully stuffed with meat as a child or you got none at all, this adult that you are now has the willpower to determine what he wants to have and not say, oh, I can't help myself. It's because I was deprived. That's why I now eat all the meat. And that's why I'm fat. Oh, everybody around me was smoking. That's why I became a chain smoker. You can quit. Oh, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I decided to steal a lot when I became an adult. You're just a thief. Oh, we didn't have any guns when I was growing up, so I got really fascinated about guns and decided to buy plenty of them. and test it on my fellow human beings. You're a murderer. We cannot hide behind events of our past, however way they affected us, not when we have the willpower and the conscience to change at every turn. Your childhood experiences cannot justify your bad behaviors. At best, you must take the pleasant ones, the pleasant parts that you experienced, and use it to become a better person, not to serve it up as an excuse for the mean human being that you have become. Many people want to see themselves as victims of their previous circumstances, as if they don't have the ability to turn their lives around. And yet, this power is within them to change. So how do you like your meat? Small and decent on your plate like me? Or plenty assorted meat on your plate? Or none at all? Whatever it is, don't use the excuse of your upbringing to justify your adult decisions, especially if it affects the lives of others or could potentially harm them. It's no excuse. So until next time, be gentle with yourself and each other. Bye for now.